Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Kinsey. Kinsey is from Denver, Colorado, in the USA. So let's see what Kinsey has to say. Enjoy the interview. Say hello, Kinsey. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time for the interview today. Thank you.
Of course.
So tell me, how it's going today? How's your day going so far?
It's pretty good. I did some auditions this morning, so I'm kind of just wrapping that up and wrapping up my day.
And where are you from, Kinsey?
I'm from Denver, Colorado.
So tell me, what's the biggest joy of living in Denver, Colorado, in your opinion?
Definitely the mountains, I would say. We have, the 14ers, and it's just nice to have them always kind of in your view. I've lived in like Michigan and Florida and a bunch of other places, and I keep coming back to Colorado, and it's because of those mountains.
And I believe you are from San Diego in California.
Yes, I was born in San Diego.
And all your family are back there?
No, my family's actually in Florida mostly now.
I see. So tell me, if I would come to Denver in Colorado for the very first time, tell me a place that I shouldn't miss it. Is the postcard of the city.
I don't know if it's the postcard, but you should go to Casa Bonita. uh,
Okay.
have you seen South Park?
Yes, I'm not like I haven't seen very often, but I know the show.
Yeah, there's an episode about Casa Bonita on there, and the owners of South Park bought Casa Bonita when it went under and like refurbished it all, and it's really cool now.
Amazing.
Mhm.
Okay, Kinsey, so let's start the interview talking about your career. I know you are an artist, you are an actor and model as well. So walk me through a little bit how everything started.
Um, it's funny enough, I didn't start off as any of those things. My degree is in food science. I
Wow.
developed plant-based meat for about 7 or 8 years. Um, and around the pandemic, I decided I was done with all of that and started following more into art, writing, acting, modeling, all sorts of things.
Wow. And why? Why is that? Why do you think that's sparkle in your life?
I mean, it's always been there. I've worked for Renaissance festivals when I was in high school. I did worked for Disney when I was in college. Uh, so I had those skills kind of in my back pocket, and I went and tried a real person adult job, and I decided I didn't like it.
I see. So after the COVID, you started to focus more in your artist career.
Yes.
I see. Oh my God, you work for Disney. I did as well a few years ago. I did, but I was working Disney Cruise Line. I was working on the ship, so I did a short contract. My God, it's been like 10 years ago already. Um, so yeah, and you're working the parks as well, in theme parks, or yeah, which
Yeah,
one
I was
you're
a
based?
pirate. It's gone now, but it was called the Pirates League, and it was kind of like the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, except for it was pirate themed. So we put like little beards on little boys and like go on a treasure hunt. It was a lot of fun.
Amazing. Yes, I think working for Disney. I mean, first of all, I thought, my God, I never thought one day I would for Disney. You know what I mean? It's just a dream come true for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, Kinsey. So during the interview, I'm going to explore a bit more about your life and also about your journey. Okay. But before we start our journey within the magic box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself, or maybe something that not many people know about you.
Something that not a lot of people know about me. Okay. Um, I got top of my class when went to. Let me start over. When I went to Penn State ice cream school because I used to work in ice cream when I did food science, and I graduated top of the class of that for that year.
Wow, that's very interesting for sure. And who was your favorite teacher at the time?
It was a 1 week course, so it was only taught by one guy.
I
His
see.
Dr. Robert, I believe his name was.
I see. Amazing. Kinsey, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Sure.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Full of random fun questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song just for us to relax before the first question, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. Right, so before I start the game, during the interview, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about or you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Okay.
Amazing. First question is, what is a negative thing that happened to you that came out as a positive thing in the end?
I mean, I would say my career in food science. Obviously, when I went into it, it was something that I was passionate about, worked really hard at, and eventually, kind of just over time, it became less and less something I looked forward to every day,
Hmm.
and decided I was kind of done with it, which is always a dramatic experience when you do a career change like that.
Totally.
But ultimately, I'm really glad I did it. I'm much happier now. I, you know, get to do something that I've always really wanted to do. So,
That's amazing. And what do you miss the most about that journey in your life when you think about your food science journey?
um, I liked just kind of, I mean, I liked and also disliked the structure it gave. You know, every morning I was up at like 3 in the morning. I had to go and get the QA for the products that were run overnight. So it was nice having that structure, but also that's ultimately what wore me down at the end too.
Wow, wow. And how long were you working during your time over there when when you finish your degree?
I finished my degree in 2017. So I did that and worked for about 7 years. So kind of 2022. I don't know. Do the math. I don't do that anymore. I don't do the math anymore.
Right. I see. No, I get your point. I think, changing career, when you spend so much time over there, you focus a lot, and suddenly you decide to change to something totally different. I think it can be scary as well. But at the same time, you need to follow your passion, your guts, your instincts. You cannot lie to yourself. You cannot go to, think, oh, you know what, I can carry on doing that. If it's not that anymore, it's okay. You just need to find something that brings the joy every day, for sure.
And I bring a lot of like my scientific mindset to my art as well. Like it's not something I
Totally.
completely abandon. It was just
Yeah.
I'm not doing this 9 to 5 every day.
No, totally. And somehow it's always going to be with you. You know what I mean? It's always going to be there. And of course, you can use this for your professional career as well. There's always something. I think everything we learn, everything we go through, in the end of the day, everything counts. Everything is part of the journey for sure.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Next question. Let's do it. Okay, next question for you is, good question. Which question would you like to be asked?
Uh, Geez, I didn't come with that prepared. um,
Or which topic? For example, you are in an interview, you are, in an interview, what's something that you go like, you know what, I wish I could talk about that, or wish this question come along. There's something that you always desire about it.
Ask me about a book I'm reading.
Okay, good one. Actually, I made a note here that you are a writer as well. So yeah, so let's talk about that. So tell me right now, which book are you reading, and also tell me a little bit more about your career as a writer as well.
Okay. I'll start with my career as a writer because that was interesting. Um, Last year, well, 2 years ago, I tore my ACL fighting with the sword. I do sword fighting for Ren Fair, and I tore my ACL. So, and that's a year recovery. So I did the surgery then. And then last year, the day after my ACL was all good and ready, I got the thumbs up from the doctor. I fell down the stairs and tore my ACL again.
Oh my God.
So, yes. Um, So this time I knew I had another year recovery. Um,
Wow.
and I was like, okay, and it makes it really hard to go do acting like that too, even if it's not, super physical. So I decided that I needed to do something for at least a year, and I decided I was going to write with a friend of mine, and we wrote a movie script actually. Um,
Wow.
and the book that I'm reading that is related to that script is about how civil wars start and how to prevent them by Barbara F. Walters. And
Okay.
I think it's a very in-depth and important book for everyone to be reading right now. And it kind of talks about how civil wars start and why they start. And it breaks it down all across the world, and it's very interesting.
Wow. My God, what an event in your life. My God, when you say that you broke your ACL, what's that?
My knee. It's a
Oh, your
tendon in your
knee.
knee. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh my God. I never heard that before. Hurricanes is the first. My God, must be so difficult for you to somehow go through for the whole recovery again. Oh my God. Oh wow.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. I wouldn't recommend it.
Wow. And so it took this time that you're recovering for you to explore, the world of writing.
hmm
Oh, that's incredible. My God. Wow. And for you right now, so you writing, there is a topic that you write. So tell me a little bit more about as well.
About the topic?
Yeah, the topics that you write, or you have like some memoirs, some books. How does it
Oh,
work? Yeah.
so I mean, the script's the only thing I've officially wrote. Um,
Okay.
but I do kind of stay in the realm of folklore, fairy tales. So the script we wrote, yes, it's about Civil War, but it's really an allegory for kind of America right now. And
Okay.
I base it off of the story of Aries, like Aries the ram, the zodiac, and all that. About because it's about a prince and a princess who escape their corrupt kingdom on the ram of Aries and try to make it to Asia in efforts to
Right.
save themselves from their kingdom.
Oh, I see. Oh, actually, I was looking your other profile as well, and that's now it makes sense. The pictures that you post there. Wow, interesting.
hmm
Amazing.
And I play around with a lot of that too. Obviously, working for Disney, I have a lot of fairy tale knowledge that I need to put to use sometimes. So.
Amazing. What's the biggest joy of being Kinsey? What do you like the most about being you?
I I have just an incredible support system of people around me. I mean, I can't do what I do here without them, and that is probably the best part about being me.
Wow. Tell me a person in your life when you are feeling the lowest for some reason, you're feeling melancholic and you feel like, you know what? I need to talk to someone. I need to share this feeling. At the same time, the same person comes to your mind when you're feeling the greatest. You feel like, oh my God, I'm so happy right now. I need to share this news. So tell me this person that comes to your mind.
I mean, my husband is an obvious answer.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
Yeah, we've been together for 8 years and married for almost four.
So far, through those 8 years, what has been the most meaningful lesson you've learned from him?
The most, I mean, the most meaningful lesson is how to communicate. I feel like that's such a hard, I mean, not just for romantic relationships, but for all relationships.
Yeah,
And he is just, when things are frustrating, when things are out of control, he's very good at like meeting me on the same level and communicating. So that way, at least a miscommunication is not on top of whatever chaos is already going on.
I see. And tell me, how did your path cross for the very first time, if you can share?
Uh, Tinder. We were in college.
I love it. Amazing. Yeah, I think nowadays, I think when those apps, came along, I think people it's I was talking actually to a friend today about that. There's so many stories of people they met online, and there's so many beautiful stories that people. It, it needs to. I think this it needs to come into our lives for us to be able to connect with others. Because if maybe if we're not there, maybe I don't. We don't know if we cross other people's lives. I think it's great.
I also feel like the apps are very different now too than they were when I was on.
Totally.
Sometimes I like look at my sisters and I'm like, oh my gosh, thank goodness I'm not doing this anymore.
Totally, absolutely. I think the difference, I think people it just changed. You know what I mean? It's still
Mhm.
there, but I think there's just it comes others as well, and there's a lot of things involved in there. But anyway, so I think it's all there's everything for everybody there. Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
Amazing. Next question. Let's do it. Right. So for the next question, what's the biggest joy of acting?
Uh, I would say it's so much fun to be able to just, you get to experience so many other different lives. Like, I am not a doctor, but I can play a doctor. And, by doing that, you kind of get different experiences than you would ever do if you were just living, you know, your straight and narrow life. And I really love that.
Wow. And Endeavor, it's a place where it's easy for you to find your auditions, to connect with, the movie industry. How do you see that based on your experience?
I mean, auditioning is always a process and it's always a pain. But I
Mhm.
have a great team of agents. And do whatever they tell me to do basically and make it work.
How about your modeling career? Is the same as well? We have some agents. How does it work?
Yes, it's the same agents too. So it all
Yes,
kind of filters through them.
I see. Okay. Next question for you is, if you could have dinner with anyone, living or not, who that would be and why?
Taylor Swift, and I feel like that's an obvious answer. Obviously Taylor Swift. I admire her dedication to her craft over the years, and
Wow.
I would just love to pick her brain on like what song lyrics mean and what she's done business wise. I think I just really
Wow.
admire all of that.
Wow. And if you had the opportunity to sit with her and to have a dinner, what would be the first question would you ask her?
First question. I feel like you got to start slow. You can't scare her off.
Totally.
uh, I don't know. I would probably ask her something about like her how she got back up after being knocked down. She's been at this for a very long time. There's been times in her career where I'm sure she felt like things were not working out, and I would love to hear how she overcame that.
Totally. Top three favorite songs of Taylor Swift for you.
Okay. Today, no, that's a joke. Um, All Too Well 10-minute version. I feel like that has to be somewhere near the top. That's a great song. And just the fan theory behind it of, she wrote it back in like 2012, 2010, something like that, and how it took a whole decade for her to release the whole full 10-minute version is really fun.
Right.
Um, And I would say Mirror Ball is definitely up there for me. That's from Folklore. Uh,
Wow.
and third one. Um, my off the wall, not a lot of people say this. I really like Starlight on
Okay.
Red on like the bonus tracks. It's not one that a lot of people ever talk about, but I think it's a really fun song.
Wow. Amazing. Very good. Next question. Let's do it. Okay, Kinsey. Next question for you is, tell me something that your best friends, what do they do that always comforts you?
um, my my best friend will go with I have two friends that I used to work at Disney with that I still regularly communicate with and we go on vacation together.
Wow.
Um I would say just, always willing to like sit down and listen if I have a problem, or just we can both gab for like hours and hours about everything. And by the time I'm done talking to her, it always just feels like everything's better. Even if it's not, it just feels better.
Wow. And what's the biggest difference between both of you and the biggest similarity?
um, the biggest difference is she is much more headstrong than I am. I can be pretty passive and just observant and easygoing. Where if she has a plan, and she is getting that plan done, and she doesn't
Right.
care. She's a New Yorker too, so she's like, if we're walking somewhere, I'm like dawdling around looking at trees, and she's like, we gotta go.
Right.
uh, Similarly, we both love Disney, we both love stories, we love, kind of all that. So that's where kind of our friendship really sits.
Wow. Amazing. Okay, she's watching this interview right now and you have a moment, an opportunity to send her a message. What would you say? She's watching.
Uh, I'll see you in Holland.
Amazing. And so she's Dutch or she's just her relatives are from Holland.
I'm pretty. I mean, her relatives are.
Right.
I don't. She doesn't have citizenship or anything though.
I see. I see. Okay.
So
Next
close.
question. Next question. Right, before the next question, let's do a little game. Let's pretend that you have in your hands the biggest budget for a project. So you're gonna put together, let's say, a play or a short movie or a scene or anything. And money for you is not a problem. So you can cast, you're gonna be on it as well. You're gonna play you, and you can cast anyone to play your mom, also to play your dad, at the same time to play your sister, and also the big boss, the director or the producer, to collaborate with you. Money is not a problem, so you can cast anyone. So tell me those names.
Oh gosh. And now this is where I'm going to reveal that I'm an actor and I know very few actor names. um I mean, uh I would have the actress who plays Gloria from Modern Family, I Sophia something. I would have her
Right.
play my mom.
Okay.
And I'm the oldest of six kids, so
No way, big family. Wow, that's amazing.
so I feel like we would have to run like a whole audition scene just for that, to find everyone.
Now you can choose just let's say that you have one sister only in this project.
Okay,
Let's say,
okay.
yeah. I would like, oh my God, it'd be so difficult for you to go through every artist to get
Yeah,
play
I
your
think I'd run out
sibling.
of people. um, for just one, I would go with hmm. I need to pick which sister first.
Could be
Uh,
anyone that you admire, that you feel like, what, I'd love to have the opportunity to play as your sister in a project.
I love Sabrina Carpenter. I feel like she would be fun on set too. And she has that like sister vibe, so I think I would choose that.
Nice
Um,
one.
but for producer or director, I would choose my sister-in-law. Actually, she's a director here in Colorado, and
Wow.
I, I just wouldn't trust anyone with my story rather than her because she probably knows it the best.
I love that. Oh, wow. Actually, you should like to participate in the Magic Box. It'd be a pleasure to have her here. It'd be amazing. Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. Wow. Next question for you is, hmm, tell me, are you a cat or a dog person? And if you could be an animal, which one that would be and why?
I'm definitely a cat person. I have two cats.
Oh,
And I mean, mostly just out of convenience. I don't want to go walk a dog in the snow. But what was the second half of that question? I'm sorry.
if you could be an animal, which one that would be?
Any animal. Oh,
Yeah, if you could be one, which one that would be?
I'd be an owl. I think I like owls.
Wow, interesting. And why is that? Why this connection with owls?
I mean, one, they're like known for being wise and knowledgeable,
Hmm.
and also like silent and deadly. I like just all those combinations.
I see. What's the meaning of life for you, Kinsey, when you think about life?
I think it's being around the people that you love and, you know, that love you back. That's really all you can ask for. And it makes time fly by, which makes life fly by. And I think that's important.
Tell me a life lesson that life has taught you that you feel very grateful for.
Um, that you can't, you have to pursue happiness. You know, if you're doing something and it's not making you happy, then you need to move on. Like, you can't fight it. It's not going to make you happier later necessarily. Um, so, you know, kind of trusting that gut instinct.
And do you believe that happiness is a choice?
I do think so, yes, to a point. I mean, there's
Mhm.
circumstances like, you know, once your basic needs met, you know, then it is a choice, yes.
Totally. Amazing. Any questions left? Let's do it. Okay, next question for you is, if you could be any age, what age would you choose and why?
Um, I would be my age right now, which is I just turned 30, and I'm excited to see where that brings me.
Amazing. And do you like celebrating birthdays?
Yes and no. I like celebrating. I don't like it to be about me though. I just want to go and do something fun for everyone, and I don't want it to be about me.
Wow. And aging for you, of course you're very young, but it's something about it that for you it bothers you, or you just see as a matter of life.
It comes and goes in waves, especially turning 30 this year. You know, parts of me I'm excited with the independence and the freedom that I get from it. Um, but also, especially being an actor, you know, there's always the like, oh no, like now I'm in a different section of like auditioners and like how do I compare? So there's always that, you know, weirdness with that too.
Yes, I think aging. I see aging such a beautiful. It's a beauty. I think every decade that we are in, first, it's a privilege to be, in our age you are in now, because some people they don't have even the chance to get. You know what I mean? I think for us, I think of course I get you. Sometimes it's scary as well because you go, my Lord, my God, I want to do so much. I want, life is such a beautiful thing. It's such great to be living. And sometimes when you see ourselves, it's I know it can be scary, but at the same time, it's just amazing for us to embrace our age for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Cool. Two questions left. Let's do it. Right. So before the next question, tell me, for you as an actress, did your siblings or your family, your mom, they support you during the time when you decide to start this career?
Uh, yes. I mean, like I said, my sister-in-law, she's in the industry, so it wasn't really seen as this big upheaval. Really, it was like, oh, I'm just gonna go start doing stuff like her. So
Uh,
everyone has been very supportive of it.
I see. Okay. Next question for you is, who was your first crush and why?
First crush. I don't remember the actor's name or the character name, but on Nickelodeon, there was it was the show called like Naked Brothers Band or something like that. Uh,
Right.
and the guy who played, I think his name was Nat or Nate or something. I was like 12 years old and I was like, oh my god, that's who I'm gonna marry. Don't know why, but obviously didn't work out either.
Tell me something one day, what will be the title of your memoir one day?
Something about a fairy tale. I don't know exact something about storybook. I'm not exactly sure how. I haven't written it obviously yet, but I would connect it back to that. That's something that's been in my life my entire life, and I would want to kind of, and that's how I tell stories is through other stories. So I would love to kind of, you
Amazing.
know, something about a fairy tale, something like that. We'll go with that.
And when people would read it, what's the message behind that you like people to take with them?
Um, that I've had a very rough start to life, so I feel like, you can really overcome a lot of things, and it's hard and it's awful, but there's always that light at the end of the tunnel, and it's worth getting to.
Great one. I love it. Amazing. Last question. Ready?
Okay.
Let's do it this one. Right. So before the last question, tell me a moment in your career, as a model or as an actress or as a writer. Tell me a moment that you go like, you know what, so far I will have this moment close to my heart, if you could share.
I mean, the biggest moment I would say, we had a table read for our script that we wrote a couple weeks ago, and it's there's just something so magical about spending all this time researching and writing and rewriting and staring at computer screens and words, and then finally getting to like hear it in like all the characters' voices and like see how it flows. And that's something that, whether or not it ever goes anywhere, it's so nice to kind of just like see your art make it out into the world.
Totally. I think it's like a baby born, isn't it? You feel like, my God, it's like ready to go.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. Last question is, what's something that makes you most uncomfortable about yourself?
Hmm. Most uncomfortable about myself. I can be a very anxious person, and I can
Mhm.
be a very passionate person when I'm, trying to, especially like writing or something, when I'm like on something. Um, so I guess just being able to relax and enjoy life more in like a general way, I think is what, I'm always so high strung. I'm always running around. I'm always needing to do like five things at one time. You know,
Uh-huh.
just taking, I think I'm uncomfortable with just taking it slow and being relaxed and enjoying things as they come.
I think when you are creative, that's what's happened. You know what I mean? You
Mhm.
sometimes you put so much in your plate that you feel anxious a little bit about it because, oh my God, it's a lot of information. You know what I mean? Happening at the same time. I get your point. Sometimes you go like, oh my God, I need to find a way to relax a bit. But
Yeah.
it's just a joy when you can, perform your talent, you can perform your gift, that you just want to do it and do it. But you can get anxious about it for sure. I get your point.
Yeah.
Amazing. Right, so let's play now the word association game. So I'm going to say some words, just one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Okay.
Let's start with money,
Green.
fear,
Scary.
family,
Love.
life,
Fun.
religion,
Control.
love,
Happiness.
politics.
Scary.
You were even scary to say scared.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot.
Friendship,
Amazing.
desire,
Uh, Love.
regret,
Sad.
success,
Happy.
wish,
Star.
happiness.
Creativity.
One word for Denver,
Mountains.
of course. One word for USA.
Struggling.
One word for modeling.
um, Pose.
Ooh. One word for acting.
Play.
And the last one now, writer. One word.
Stories.
Wow. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your husband for a coffee and I'm going to ask him, define Kinsey in one positive and one negative word only, what he would say about you.
Um, I let's let's see. He can be a funny guy too, so I need to put his brain on for a second.
Right.
Um, I think positive, he would say that I am a go-getter. I am, don't I don't let life get me down. Even when it does, I still push through.
Amazing.
Um, what negative he would say, I am incredibly forgetful. I I leave the stove on occasionally.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've am also not a good parker, like parking the car, terrible skill. We all can't win at everything. Uh so I'm a little forgetful.
I love your honesty. I love it. It's amazing. Yeah, I think that when people they know us very well, they can point it out for sure. They can tell.
Yes, and that's part of it. I mean obviously I've been married for 8 years. I love it.
Totally. You know, when you leave the oven on, he just go there and turn it off. If you leave the car a little bit, in the wrong side, he just goes there and put the right side. So it's okay. He can
Yeah,
he can manage.
he does.
Beautiful. Let's play now, Kinsey, and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But okay, Kinsey, you can ask me a question now.
Um, my question for you is, what is a story that has shaped you? I mean, that can be folklore, fairy tale, anything that you consider a story, I guess.
What a great question, Kinsey. What a great question. Actually, nobody asked me this question here on the show. That's amazing. Oh, wow. And I had over 1,000 interviews worldwide. So imagine. You put me in spots. I was expecting the question and I love it. Okay, a story like a fairy tale story or folklore. I'm from Brazil, originally from Brazil. So folklore there is very huge, big, you know. Wow, I love your question. Wow.
I would love to hear Brazil. I mean, I've done obviously a lot of European folklore. I've done some Indian folklore,
Yeah,
but I haven't done Brazil or South America yet. So that I'm
I
very.
love.
And if you want to respond later or tell me later, that's fine too. If you need to think about it.
No, yes, I'm just trying to think about something that shaped me, folklore that shaped me. Wow. Wow. I'm sure when I hang up the call, I'm gonna say, "Oh, I wish I had said that." There's always. Anyway, so okay, so I'm gonna say the first thing that came to my mind, the first thing that I think Brazilian people, you've been surrounded by religions. There's so many religions in Brazil that you have no idea. When I was cooking before I was my dinner, I was cooking. I was watching an interview and with two journalists back in Brazil, and they were talking about different religions. Like, my God, some of them I even never heard of it before. I was like, wow, that's incredible. But I'm gonna go for a folklore that Brazil, I think all of us in Brazil is a celebration that we have the Carnival. I'm not sure it's a real like a folklore that you're talking about, but something that came to my mind. So a folklore, because it's very colorful. The whole Brazil is celebration, and it's something about it that you cannot find anywhere in the world. I think every country they have their own way of, exploring through arts. And there's something about the carnival in Brazil it's so colorful. People they literally take their time to be together. It's a celebration, you know, and not just adults but kids as well. Remember, as a child back in Brazil, we were dressing up to have the carnival, and they have this colorful clothes and everything. So I would call it folklore because it's something unique. It's unique about Brazil because I've been living in Europe. I lived in Portugal before, and I've been a few countries, and I never seen that. So I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. So it's something that that's why they say the Brazilian people are very, have this positive mindset. We are very expressive, and it's
Hmm.
because of that. Carnival in Brazil just finished now last month. it's, it's a celebration that people, they literally stop to have these moments, of celebrating life, celebrating our culture, celebrating, actually it's not nothing related to religion. However, it's something that brings everyone together, flow colors, flow music, and we celebrate it. Brazil, we are so huge, like the US, that every state we have different, it feels like a different country. However, the carnival brings everyone together as a nation. So yes, I would go for carnival, Kinsey. It was a genuine thought that came to my mind. And yeah, but this one is all about, people, we just get together in the streets. There's always music. People, they have different ways of, it's a different kind of dancing as well. People, they have these colorful clothes, and it's about a celebration as well. It's a folklore. It's something that's, we go together, the whole Brazil, to celebrate that moment. It became so international that people around the globe, they're even like every year, more and more you see so many, foreign people like posting online about, they go to Brazil for that celebration.
Mhm.
So Carnival is something big. I would say that because it brings me back to my childhood memories for sure. Yeah,
I love that. That's great.
amazing. Did you enjoy the interview?
I did. Thanks.
Thanks again, Kinsey. Thanks for taking the time for the interview. Thanks for being so kind and so sweet. I love to have passionate people here on the show. When they come here, they share their passion, their gifts, and it's amazing. So thanks again. Thanks for taking the time for the interview. And
Absolutely.
before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
I believe, I mean, part of that book I mentioned earlier about Barbara F. Walters, part of it was how, societies are hopeful, people are hopeful, and by default. And that's when they still believe in the system and being able to fix the problems through the system. And I strongly believe that that's the way to go. Once people become hopeless, that's when you run into problems because they turn to more violent means of changing because they don't believe anything can be changed.
Um,
And I think you should always believe things can be changed.
Amazing. I love that for sure. I think we need to keep believing always. There's always something about it. We need to keep believing is the way to go for sure. Amazing. Great. All right. So thanks again. Thanks for the interview. Regards to your husband, to your friends and family. You keep in touch. It was a pleasure to have you on the show. Okay.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye. See you next time.